How's it going, everybody? It's Daikin here, bringing you another Guilty Gear Strive tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about Millia. This is going to be my beginner's Millia guide for you guys. I'll be getting a lot of questions about how to play this character, so I'm finally going to make the beginner's guide for Millia. We're going to be going over our normals, we're going to be going over our basic knockdown game plan, and then we're going to be talking about a few combos to help get you guys started. Let's talk about Millia here. So starting off, we're at 5P. This button is okay. It's good for certain matchups for sure. It could be good as a anti-air, and it could go into her 6H for a quick combo. Her K button is going to be her main pressure tool. This is going to start the combos and stuff. You can do this into 2K2D. This can be delayed to frame trap people, or it can be a true block string if you just mash it out like that. So very, very good button. You can stagger it and then go into dashes and stuff. Her slash is going to be her farthest reaching poke. It doesn't always lead to a combo, but it is her farthest reaching poke. So very good button. It's probably the best button for your neutral situations. This button, her far H, isn't really going to be a button you're going to throw out as much. This is going to be mainly a combo tool and a pressure tool. You're going to be using it for stagger pressure and stuff like that to get counter hits, but you're not really going to be using it in neutral because this button is just overall better, and there's other buttons you could use that are better than that too. Her close slash, this button right here. So this button is very good. This is going to basically be a good anti-air, and it has her most Gatling options off of it. So you could go into 2S, you go into 6H, her 6K, her 6P, all these good buttons. And her 6P is going to be her universal anti-air. It's pretty good. It's okay. You can get a small combo off of it if it counter hits. You can go into Iron Savior like that for a knockdown and then run up behind it. That's pretty much all you get from it, but you know, it is something, so that's good to keep in mind. If it counter hits, that is what you get off of it. Don't counter hit. The best thing to probably do is to go into her dash, or command dash, which is this. You can do that right there. It's the most safest option. Sometimes it's okay, just take the 6P. If it counter hits, and you get a hard knockdown anyway, so you know, it's not that bad. Anyway, talking about her crouching normal, so 2K is going to be her fastest and farthest reaching crouching poke, or her fastest reaching button anyway. It's going to be 6 frames. Her 2P is also 6 frames, but it's not going to be as far reaching, so you're mainly just going to use this button. You're really not going to use 2P that much. Then there's her 2S. This button right here is pretty good. This button always combos, unlike this button. This button doesn't always combo, but this button will pretty much always guarantee you a combo, just because of the range it covers, and it has less pushback than this. So this always combos into standing H, luckily. Then there's her 2H. This button you're really not going to use as an anti-air as much as probably like the other games. This button is mainly pretty much you're going to use inside of like pressures to catch people, or like how I like to use it as a actual punish tool, because if it counter hits, you actually get one of her only launches that she can get, which is very good because she gets some nice meterless damage this way, which she definitely could use. So keep this in mind. It's pretty much going to be used as like a punish counter tool in this game for sure. Talking about her command normals, we have 6K, so this is going to be overhead. This is still plus. It's very slow though. It loses to people throwing, so it's not going to get over people throwing like some other ones. To showcase that, you can definitely still throw out of it. I know there's some other ones that put people airborne. This doesn't actually I guess put her airborne, so just keep that in mind. Even though it is foot and bull, so you can't actually hit her. Pretty weird that it's like that. But anyway, a 6H. This button right here is going to be very good for catching people who are trying to throw you. This button is actually airborne, and once again, if you hit with this, you get big damage all across the board. So very, very good strong tool if this is counter hits. So you're going to be using this to try to bait people into trying to throw you and stuff like that. You can also be using pressure to catch people mashing. Once again, very, very good tool. JP you're not going to really use that much in this game. It used to be very good inside the other Guilty Gears for it, but it's not really that useful, and this doesn't really lead into much. JK is a very good tool though. This button right here is a very good air-to-air tool. You can do it twice in the air. So I can do it rising once and then come down with it. You don't have to come down with a JK. You can come down with any other button like JS or JH if you want to. So you got options to come down with. Speaking of JS, this button is very good for air-to-air as well. Very good for spaced out air-to-air. So if they're coming in at you and you want to stop their approach, this is the button to press right here. You can pick it up for combos as well. So pretty easy to combo off of as well. Very, very good button for spaced air-to-airs. JH is going to be your button you're going to do for air to ground. So if you're trying to hit them on the ground, this is mainly going to be the button JS can hit grounded opponents, but it loses to people crouching, and JK is going to be good for air to ground a little bit. if you're trying to hit in front. This is going to be good because it crosses up. So if you're doing stuff like air dashing over your opponent, this is going to be the button to utilize. Very, very strong button for sure. Then, of course, there's our JD. Not really going to use this button too much outside of like combos or like some specific mix-ups on the ground. Like you could do a JK into it, for example, like that. And then you have to follow it up with like Bad Moon or something like that. Main time, you're really going to use that for mix-up opportunities. Her 2D is going to be her universal sweep. This button is very good. Nice, really good range on it. Very good where backdash, if you want to like get out of a situation, backdash 2D. Very, very good in this type of situation. And if you get counter hit, you get a lot of time to set up Oki and do some crazy shenanigans and stuff like that. So very, very good button. Now to talk about pressure really quickly, the main things you're going to be needing to know about pressure is that this is going to be the button that really starts everything. Once again, it is going to be the button that you can stagger, like keep like make people want to mash. You can dash back in on it, like, you know, if people are respecting you a lot. And it's jump cancelable, so you can go for cross ups on it like this. So you can really start things, you know, you can like do this button into like fast grabs, and then you can set up disc off that. There's a lot of things you could do off this button. You could do this into 2K, 2D. So if you see that they're standing, you could go for a low attack like that. There's a decent amount of things you can do off this. Once again, if you happen to do this button right here, this button can like go into itself. It is -2, but if they are respecting you, you can get this button out like twice pretty much. And it goes into a lot of different things. Once again, you could do this into this. You could do this into this. And if you end with this, one of your enders is going to be this. And your other ender you could do is this. But mainly if you're doing this, you probably want to do this. It's like the most safest thing you could probably do. Sometimes off of this, you can go into the air version of her command dash. So you do have an air version of it. You could go off throw into that. That could be a pretty quick mix up you could do to try to catch people off guard and stuff like that. This button is also jump cancelable, so if you're in pressure, you can also, you know, go for a cross up with this. If they're in the corner, then you just air dash back in on them like this. You know, you just mix up your options. You don't want to overextend if you don't got to. You know, if you need to back off, then back off. But you have a decent amount of things at your disposal by just doing your pressure like this. If they're respecting you, coming in with a close slash, delaying your buttons to try to fish for a counter hit. If they don't do anything, you could always command dash back in to try to get the throw again and stuff like that. To try to mix up whatever you're doing stuff like this or doing delayed disc. You know, you got plenty of different options you could try to do your pressure to try to open them up, to try to make sure you land a hit so you can actually start your game plan for Millia. Now, talking about her actual main game plan when she knocks the opponent down, let me set the opponent to block. Okay, so now that I got the opponent blocking, we're going to talk about the few mix-ups that you can do to your opponent while this is happening. So once you get the basic knockdown, which the main knockdown is going to be off sweep, then you're going to basically go for a few specific mix-ups. You can go for empty jump below, just like that. You can go for overhead on the same side with JK, or you can do JH if you want to. You can go for a cross-up button. You can just cross up if you want to. You could do a delay cross-up like that, and then you can do a cross up into a low like this. These are going to be the main ones you could do. You could also do double overhead on the same side. This also is a very good one. I use that a lot. So yeah, got a lot of pretty good options. Like I said, you could go left, right, high, low pretty much. They have to block the disc if you knock down with the actual sweep. If you don't knock down with sweep, they can jump out of this disc right here because it isn't meaty. However, there is a way to discourage that by just putting a JK on them. Once you establish that you are going to punish them for trying to jump out of your disc with JK, then you can start going for the same type of mix-ups off of your throw game as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Once you get the actual hit, there's a few combos that you want to keep in mind for this. So just to show you what it would look like, which it also combos from her close slash, this button right here, which is going to be a very good anti-air, as we said. Is going to also give you a lot of Gatling options and stuff too. This button right here is going to start everything. So just to talk about the actual combos you're going to be doing if you pop them up in the air with the disc, this is the main combo that you're going to do right here. So it's going to be slash into J slash into JD, and you're going to double jump this like that, and then you're going to do the same. You're going to air dash and then do the same thing again. So it's the same two buttons, and then you do Bad Moon at the end. Now the Bad Moon at the end, you're going to want to delay a little bit this is going to basically allow that bad move to combo. If you do it too fast, this is what will happen. It would just completely whiff. So you got to make sure that you delay it a little bit so you actually get the combo to work. So it's the same 2 buttons. It's just the last one, instead of double jumping, you air dash because of how her movement works. And that should pretty much bring them to the corner. It's pretty much almost a like corner to corner combo for the most part. Very, very good combo for sure for her. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about as far as her combos go is her actual corner combo. So things change a little bit in the corner when you get a knockdown. If you hit with that, if you hit with something on the disc and they pop up in the air, the main thing you're going to do is close slash into 2H, and then you're going to do this move right here, 214D, which is their Iron Savior. So we're going to, yeah, this is their Iron Savior right here. Very good button as far as her special moves go. Speaking of her special moves, she has this right here, the command dash. You can use this like to go through opponents. This goes to projectiles too. So if you want to go for like a mix up like this, close slash, if they're blocking, you could go for stuff like this, you know, little cheeky mix ups. I wouldn't recommend doing this too much, but you know, you can't catch your opponent off guard. For other special move, Lust Shaker, you pretty much use this on block to like in block strings is like her safest thing. It does have a little bit of a gap, so if they're mashing, you will get hit, but it is one of her safest enders, and you can like try to back off of it as well. Just keep that in mind. And of course, S disc is going to be like the main ender that a lot of people use when it comes to ending block strings. It's like relatively safe. It is like punishable by certain things, but if you delay it or you space it out correctly, it can be pretty safe. So just keep that in mind. That is going to be one of your best entering tools as far as like catching people trying to mash out if you're trying to do something like this. Now going back to the combo itself, close slash 2H into this, and the main thing you want to do once you get the wall splat is 2H. 2H is the button that has like the highest damage on it when she wall splat. So if you could get 2H, get 2H, but if you got, sometimes you know the wall breaks are a little bit finicky, so you know, just press the button you can to break the wall in that case. But obviously if you're going to be doing super, then do super. You can do super from that combo as well. Now if you actually hit in the corner with close slash, you actually get a pretty cool combo. The combo is going to be close slash 2H into S disc is the first part. Then you're going to dash in for another close slash. It's going to look like this. You're going to do that into 6H into the Iron Savior again. That's going to wall splat, and then you're going to do your 2H for the ending. So the whole thing is going to look like this. Just like that. Once again, you can spin super meter if you want to as well. If you do spin super meter, that's going to once again give you a better advantage situation, because you're going to be able to run up for Oki, which is very good for actual Millia, because obviously she wants to always be on you and getting some actual Oki situations. So if you got meter, you know, of course, spin wisely, but that is usually a good situation to spin your meter, is for wall breaks and stuff like that. So yeah, just spin your meter accordingly. And that pretty much sums up the main things for Millia. Once again, we talked about pretty much everything. Her 6P, once again, her 6P is going to be her anti-air, her universal anti-air. This button is going to give you a actual knockdown on counter hit. So it gives you a knockdown regularly on counter hit like that. You can also do it with Iron Savior. If you don't get counter hit, you can always do this, and it's just a safe ender overall, pretty much. Especially if they block it, you can like sort of like oppress your advantage a little bit, because it sort of makes you plus if they just block in the air like that, and you can sort of like come back in. So very, very good button. I mean, very set of commands, like make yourself safe. It really can't do much about that, so very good thing there. And that's pretty much it for the beginners guide. Like I said, I didn't want to do too much. I didn't want to give you guys too much, but we went over her normals, which normals were good, the spaces that they control, where to use them at. We went over some basic mix-ups after knockdown. We talked about how this isn't real until you did JK. We talked about the combo you should do. We talked about the corner combo if the disc hits, and then we talk about the corner combo if you get this. The other different last thing that I do want to say is, once again, if you do happen to get a counter hit situation or people mashing, you just do the command dash off the 2H, or not mashing, but if you happen to block something that's very punishable and you want to get a big counter hit combo, you just do 2H and command dash into the same combo we just talked about, and that will be it for that. And that pretty much sums up my Millia beginner's guide. I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know down in the comments below if there's anything else you want me to go over as far as when I actually do the advanced guide, because I definitely want to help you guys out. Learn this character. It's extremely fun, and I want more people to play here. I barely see any Millias out there, which makes me sad. Anyway, if there's anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Dyken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.